All right, PKN episode 172. We were just getting all worked up before the show started.
Yeah, so much that Woody just had to get it going. I
Yeah.
interrupted what you guys were talking about, so you can just jump right back into it.
Um,
Well, apparently a black man moved into Taylor's building and he is livid.
Oh man, not that. That was just for the show, pre-show. And he's Filipino. Doesn't make it any better though. But
No,
whatever.
no. He'll still understand the burning cross like we talked about.
hey,
He'll get
Taylor,
it.
I think your math is off, though. Like, if he ruins the property value, wouldn't he just lower your rent?
Ah, that's true. Yeah, because I don't own. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, more Filipinos in here. I'm gonna get Jorge and the rest of the gang all up on.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, no. So is Wings on the subreddit? I just saw a
Yeah,
copy
yeah.
paste in this guy.
Can you tell me which post it is? Because I don't know.
It's the one that says something about Wings losing $100,000 because.
Oh,
it's not
that
okay.
one?
Yeah, there's like 190 comments or something.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
is
then,
he talking about like on his trucks?
No,
no,
he's talking
no.
about because he got fired from the show.
I'm about 120 comments behind then, because
Oh my god! And he, what did he reply to me? He said something like, he said, quote, I guess if I'm gonna say quote, basically he said that I said to his face that we never intended to bring him back because I posted a comment on there that said, we didn't kick you off, we suspended him, and then in the, but he proved us quickly. He quickly proved to us afterwards that we'd made a good decision.
That is
Was what I
100% true. Can I jump in?
Yeah.
There's 100% true. I did. There was a moment of weakness I had. Like one time he made a video, and I remember he was like, "Yeah, all the things they said I did, I did." He's like, and I don't know why. Like I don't wake up and think I'm gonna be an asshole today. It just kind of happens, and like I'm gonna grow from this. And I was like, wow, like. Maybe this guy comes back. That was my thinking at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I don't wake up saying I'm going to be an asshole. I just do it. And I don't know. Like in my case, my biggest, I think Kyle's, I hate to put words in his mouth, his biggest frustration was the survival trip. For me, it had been growing for a long time, like all sorts of like little betrayals and comments about me and stuff that struck deep, and people considered him a reliable source, even though things he would say were wildly untrue. And I think for Lefty, putting words in his mouth, his biggest thing was like while we were doing the trip, Wing streamed and talked mad shit about us, like while we were in the woods, and so we all we all agreed with each other, but the core of our reasons weren't exactly lined up, and yeah, he just. I forgot how I got there. I just started ranting, but he says, like, here's the thing. This happens in business a lot, right? Like, three people start up Twitter or Facebook or whatever. One of them gets fired, and then after he leaves, the place starts succeeding. And suddenly he's like, you know what? Really, I deserve all of that, like, success.
Like Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Is it Breaking Bad? Did that happen?
Yeah, with the Gray Matter or whatever his company was when he left, and then they got super successful. Right? Am I totally making that
No,
up?
you're right. You're right. Yeah,
Oh.
but I think that in that case, didn't Walter White like invent the whole thing? Maybe there are parallels.
Maybe he actually
there.
did.
I don't know.
Okay, then never mind. Sorry for derailing. Go ahead.
but
Oh,
yeah.
he deleted his comment.
Oh, did he? After
Yeah.
Wings left, really, I think what happened was it wasn't so much Wings leaving that made the show successful, although that could be part of it. It was replacing Heather with Chiz. I feel like that is what started turning things around. And
Yeah, he deleted most of his comments.
okay,
It's hard to
And
quote
then-
him correctly now. But what he said was that, so I replied to someone and I was like, just to be clear, we didn't kick him off. We suspended him and we were going to reevaluate his situation within, a few months. But and I said something like, he quickly showed us that we'd made the right decision. And then he replies, he's like, no, you told me to my face like 2 months later that you never intended to bring me back. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, the cholesterol has infected your brain. You're either lying or
Did you
you're
even
just
see
plain...
him in person 2 months later?
No. But I politely said, I don't remember things that way.
No, you're right, and he's wrong.
Of
That
course.
that was always the plan to sort of suspend him and see how things worked out. Like
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But I don't know. I here we are, like keeping it going. A part of me wishes it would just die, but a part, I don't, just silly
Maybe
wings.
soon if he goes to Tijuana.
Oh,
I
you tell me
I'll
about
talk
that.
about
That
that.
has to be.
I got all
like-
the nitty gritty details on that. So
I-
he uploaded a video.
I don't know like the big details about weight loss surgery, but I saw somebody saying like it was like a 3-day thing, which is like, I know that no reputable surgeon is gonna be like, yeah, go ahead and fly your 500-pound body down here. We'll get you cut up real quick, get it going, give you a nice 18 to 26 hours of rest, and then you're back on that plane. to
That's
the
not
States.
true, though, right? Like, so I don't know
Oh, I don't
about
think
his
so.
surgery.
There's no way.
And my understanding is these like belly surgeries, like whatever it is, are some of the worst to come back from. But stuff goes more and more outpatient all the time. C-sections get out of the hospital the next
This
day.
is Tijuana.
When I had my
Yeah, but
leg
not on
fixed,
to
I
6
went
hour
home
flights.
I went home that night, and well, the next day or 2 days later, I took a 6-hour flight, with
Yeah,
that.
but
with
you
that
know, you don't
repaired
want. Yeah,
leg.
you got your
Woody,
crutches.
you're
you know,
a health weight.
they're
You're
gonna
on a
cut his
health-
stomach in half.
I hear you. And I did
Mexico.
lead in with gastrointestinal surgeries. One of the tougher to come back from. Boogie's
Yeah.
recovery seemed like it was very difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 months later, he still wasn't in some ways as good as he was before. Now he's losing weight, but there were ways in which he was still suffering from the surgery. So
Yeah.
3 days, that might be really hard. I don't know.
So he weighs
Oh, it
about
definitely would.
540.
Especially because, real quick, like, you already know it's a bad idea because Boogie talked about how when he was at like 500 and whatever pounds, he would go to expensive American surgeons and be like, I'll fucking pay you to do this. And they're like, I can't. I literally can't. You're too fat. You have to get down to like 470 or whatever before we can do it.
need
So
a
like
vet.
they're going to ship him to Tijuana at a weight that no American surgery would do this. And then they're surgery and then back on the fucking Southwest flight. No.
I
No
don't
way.
hate this as much as you guys do, and I want to hear.
Seems like a
Kyle has
dangerous
details
idea.
that we don't have, but I won't be more than 10 seconds. But I am saying we're talking about life or death, and even if the life is a bit of a long shot or not so great, like there is a huge risk of not doing it as well. Kyle, please tell us what you know.
So he made a video and he's talking about this thing, and it was, he cries at the end of it, but of course there's no donation link in there, like absurd. Like you should totally have a donation link at the end. But basically what he said was he had like, I don't know, 8-10 grand of money saved up. The surgery cost 25 grand to get done in his homeland of South Carolina, but it sounds to me like what I took from kind of listening between the lines. His mother had this surgery done in Tijuana, and so she's pushing him to do this thing, and so he pulls up the website for this thing, and at the top of the website it says it's like
Do you have the
surgery.
website?
Oh, it's like I'll get it. It's like surgery
I'd love to poke
tourism.
around.
Yeah, man. I'll
This
get it for
surgery.
you.
We should. I'm gonna pick a surgery that I want. This is a
Oh, we
PKA
could
trip.
all go. Wow,
Oh,
yeah.
I've lost
So
weight and still got a little.
So he
I'll get
says,
Mexican laser hair removal.
"Oh God, here you go. We have skinned you well." What?
It's like a turtle
So
shell
he's-
down there. Yeah.
He wants to. He's going to get 2 plane tickets because of his size and fly to San Diego, and then he gets picked up at the airport in San Diego by a car, or
Speedy gone Uber.
and I think the car is provided by the clinic, and they'll drive him to Tijuana, the home place of fine surgical treatment, and he'll spend one night in a Marriott, as he said, and hang on, the website, I'm trying to read it off his video.
My big question is, will he notify them that he's backing out or just not show? Maybe not
I
show and claim that he notified them. I don't know.
In this situation, not showing is probably the better move.
Eh,
Because you were saying, it's life and death, but it's like, yeah, this could be the death. like the decision. Like-
Kyle's still going. I don't mean to step
Yeah,
all
yeah,
over
yeah.
him.
Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
So
Sorry about that.
they,
Don't worry about the website if you can't get it. No worries.
I have it. I think this doesn't look like the homepage, but it is the URL. Like maybe you just had to dig around on this website to find the exact like page he was on. But in any case, what a big URL.
Wow.
He so he spends one night in that Marriott, and then the next morning they pick him up, take him to the hospital, do some blood tests, and then right into the OR. Do the surgery that day, then back to the Marriott for 2 nights, then back to San Diego and on a flight to South Carolina, and it's all said and done. He did say, however, I'm probably going to lose my belly button, because you lose your
What?
belly button, because you lose your belly button with surgeries like this. And I was like, wait, what?
Wait, no, whoa, no, that doesn't make any sense.
So what I gleaned from this was his mother doesn't have a belly button now, and I can just see them with the belly button, like, what
Yeah,
are we
that's-
doing it?
That's a valid inference. We cut off too much. Just put another hole in there. You never know. Yeah, I'm thinking that you generally shouldn't lose your belly button in this surgery, though, right?
Probably not. I think
If you've got that much stomach skin to work with, why lop off the belly button?
yeah, I think he's confused, maybe not, but like I would imagine they do this surgery through the belly button, like they go in through the belly button, so they're not cutting you open, and they do it that way. I can't remember the surgical term, but I was baffled by that part of the thing. And then he pulls up this chart of like possible weight loss, but it's in percentages for like, I don't know, a medium fat person. And he's like, you see, look at this chart. I could not be a fat dude by the summer. And it's like, you're talking about losing like 200. He thinks he can lose 270 pounds in like 6 months or something like that. Like
270 pounds in 6 months.
you know how it got, you should watch his video in your free time. It's entertaining.
June
and, you know, he
6th
cries.
is 6
I
months
haven't.
away, right? Get your beach body now. You got 6 months.
Yeah, you'll have a 6-pack by D-Day.
No, he's got a beached body.
That is fucking mean-spirited.
Wow.
Man,
Go
I was preparing to make way more fun of this website and these doctors. They do look reputable. I'll be fair. Like, I'm looking at their like bio pages, and they seem like they're totally fine surgeons. Like, I know that a lot of people go to Tijuana for dental, but it seems like there's a chasm between a dental thing and rearranging your insides and perhaps losing a belly button when you weigh so much that they would not even consider this in the U.S.
That's the American premium. You get to keep your belly button.
Yeah.
It's 20 grand, but
No.
you do look like a human afterwards. Yeah, I have a friend who goes to Costa Rica for his dental work, and he's been very happy with it. Although he did say this. He said that in Costa Rica, it's just standard procedure there to do things without painkillers that you would use a lot of painkillers for here. And you just sort of tolerate it, and it doesn't kill you, and you just wait, and it stops hurting after some time. And it was like, oh man, I don't know.
I'll just pay the extra here. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
sounds
can't imagine. I can't imagine getting like my little thing done, like my tooth pulled without painkillers, because he was rooting around in there violently. Like it was like when you're trying to get a nail out that the head has kind of bent up on, and you're just like, "Arr, arr, arr." Like he was in there, like going to town. It took him maybe 30 seconds, but
They'd have to give you painkillers for pulling it. Like if I were in Kyle's mouth trying to pull a tooth out and he doesn't have painkillers, he'd have to be strapped down like I was torturing him. And I would be torturing him. He'd be.
I might be misunderstanding. I think though he might have been talking about the painkillers that you use to treat pain over the next few days.
oh, that's
you
a
just
different
have-
case.
That would suck too, though. I've never really gotten prescribed those painkillers, so I guess I don't.
They
I've
were
never been
so
in pain
helpful because like whenever they would like wear off, like 6 or 8 hours after taking a couple, it was like, ooh, okay, I waited too long to take more. All right, we need to take more now. It was definitely noticeable.
About the wings things. So as far as PKA doing better after him leaving or getting fired or whatever you want to call it, and voted off the island, maybe. I don't know. Cisco stock has gone up a lot since I left. I don't feel entitled to their success. Like after I quit, like that's not how it works, right? That's just not how.
I feel you.
So that's a thing. As far as the surgery, I don't know. I don't think it's as crazy as you guys think it is. One of us is right. I'm not sure who, but to me, like if I weigh 540 pounds and my choice is working on 575 by next Christmas or working on 275, I would roll the dice.
Yeah, if that's the choice. But I don't think that is the choice. I think that he's just going to like blow his new stomach out anyway.
Well, that's possible.
I think that's what'll happen.
I just
And he'll be
looked up,
lucky if he survives. And he's going to, I really, and I
that's what he
replied
should
to him.
do.
I was like, good luck in Tijuana. I hope you vlog it because those would be
Oh, did you talk to him?
Well, in that Reddit reply, I replied to him, and somebody was like, "You're so two-faced. You're so mean to him on the show, but you're polite here." And it's like, well, come on, it's a little common courtesy. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, chubby dubby, like, hope you die in Tijuana, like on Reddit. Like, I'm actually corresponding with him right here. Like, well, when I make fun of him here, when I talk about his beached body, which is fucking hilarious.
That is fucking hilarious. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it's to make few people laugh,
You told me that I had a professional comedian's joke at the hangout, and I can't recall what it was in the slightest.
It'll come to us after this ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really well like phrased or worded or set up.
It was set
or
up
all
to
three. Yeah, it was very funny what you said. I can't recall what it is. But yeah, I don't want the guy to die. I want him to prosper, I suppose, or at least subsist.
I don't like the thing. Like I know, I mean, I'm not as up on it as you guys, obviously, but it's my understanding that he is kind of feeling like, well, it's either life or death. I'm gonna die from overeating, or I'm gonna die or live by fixing it. And there's no way I can fix it in any way that's not invasive surgery.
Top comment on that video.
But you've already made that assumption. And so, of course, like if you've already got that baseline thought in your head of like, I've tried willpower before, I could never do it. I can't, I need surgery. Like, then of course, willpower is going to fail you if
I'm
you've
on
already
Team Wings
consigned
with that
yourself.
one. I know it sounds crazy, right? But
at this weight, he will die if he tries to get the surgery, or he'll likely die. Like, there's a reason they don't do that shit when you're that heavy. It's too dangerous.
Okay, you make a lot of sense, right? And Boogie, I do know that some of the numbers. Boogie weighed like 540 or something, or maybe right where Wings is now, and they made him crack 500. They might have weighed at 507 or something, but really he had to lose like 50 pounds to get the surgery. So Wings would be coming in at 540, I guess. Is that what you said he weighed? 540?
Yeah, I think so.
So that's high. I'll grant you that.
Yeah.
But I feel like Wings has wanted to lose weight since I met him like 7 years ago, something like that. And he's done nothing but
fat
grow.
people always want to lose weight. There's no fat person who doesn't want to lose weight.
I agree. And I didn't even mean to make that noise.
It's the noise it makes when Wings gets off the toilet seat.
I agree. They all want to lose weight, but I don't know. He has some kind of addiction, and I know people deny that there's an eating addiction or food addiction at all, but call it a psychological addiction. Like people are addicted to games or the internet or
It's definitely
eating.
an addiction.
Yeah. He has shown no signs of being able to crack it with just mental fortitude. And his
Real
time
quick,
with
what
Drew,
is the furthest he ever got down since you guys have known him?
Like 405. That's where he was. Like he left my house at like 405.
I should have clarified that better. Like, what is the biggest amount you've seen him lose? Of course, he's regained it all, but like, what's
back in like 2011, 2012, maybe yeah. He got prescribed amphetamines or like some sort of diet pills from a doctor, and he dropped like 50 pounds or so in pretty rapid succession. And then at my house, he lost about 35 pounds in a month.
I do want to toss out though that the 50 pounds was Wings telling us, and the 35 pounds was Kyle measuring. So they might not be the same thing.
Very true.
That's fair.
Because I
just wanted to get a feel for if there ever was a big success. or not.
And I'm not
I
sure
would
if he's
call
weighing
both of
himself.
those.
He's probably guessing his weight right now. And I don't think his scale goes above 500 pounds.
Do most scales? How high do scales go?
We had to
Man,
get a
when you start
special
asking that
scale.
question, you know you're on the wrong side of the scale.
Right.
how high do standard scales go?
I think the answer is 300 because every so often I'll want to, you know what? I don't know.
You got to go to a livestock barn.
Oh, you can get a 450
Or a
pound and above
junkyard.
scale. Expensive.
They
This
are
isn't at
expensive.
all. $29.95 for a 500 pound digital bath scale.
We
That's
we
pretty
got him
legit.
one of those when he did the boot camp. Like we used some of those monies that were raised to get him a new scale that would get him to where he
Yeah.
wanted to go.
I thought it would be more expensive than that.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I think
It's-
standard ones cap at 300. This is a
About
stupid
that.
paramotor thing, but people like to measure the thrust, and it's hard to measure how hard something's pushing. So you can stand on a scale, point the paramotor down, and rev it up. But usually, like if you're my size anyway, 198 I think right now, you'll crack 300 with the weight of the motor and the thrust, and it won't work. You need a special scale.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
But anyway,
Maybe if you hooked, I don't know. I
Right,
was thinking
like-
about those scales that you do for fish and stuff that like pull. Maybe one of those could be used. I've got a very heavy duty one of those that we used to measure our bow, or like archery bow pull. You know, you can adjust that pull with some Allen keys, and so you'd hook the string onto the thing and pull down and watch the scale till it peaked out to like figure out where you had your bow set.
It's hard to connect to the back though. Like I think you need to measure how you push it. Maybe me on rollerblades with the scale on the wall pushing it. You know?
Dude, I like the idea of you on the rollerblades without the wing and the dude.
Oh, trust me, I've thought of that. Or like I'll be longboarding. I do that for crappy cardio, and I'm like, am I getting good enough at this to break out the paramotor yet?
Dude, that would be like get in a big parking lot and like I just imagine you kind of crouching a little with that wingsuit that Walter from Malcolm in the Middle that when he was speed walking. I don't know if you
It
remember
just
the
has-
low drag.
Yeah,
fast walking
the
suit.
teardrop shaped helmet and everything. Yeah, that has bad decision written all over it. But good video, good video and
Yeah.
bad decision. Sometimes they're the same thing.
Get
So
a jump
anyway,
at the
I don't know
end.
how to put a period on the end of the wings topic.
I looked at his channel and it looks like he's actually looking for advice from people on it.
Number one comment.
If he ever listens to this and seriously wants advice, do not go to Tijuana for surgery. At this point, like it
Do
is.
it.
I just typed in on Google Tijuana surgery, and I've never Googled that before, and I've never Googled anything even remotely similar to that. So I know it's not Google directing me in a direction. And the first thing was horror stories. Tijuana surgery horror stories.
I'm on the other side of
I
this.
entered that, and it was a bunch of bariatric things, and it's like, dude, and also because if you get that surgery there, like Boogie had enough trouble, and he was going back for outpatient and like going back in and visiting, and they're like, all right, are you eating right? Okay, well you're not, and let me take your fluids. Okay, well you're not eating nearly enough of this or that and the other thing. You need to do more of this, less of that. Like he's not going to have that. He's going to get back here and be left to his own devices. And within 2 weeks, without any instruction from a medical professional, he's probably going to accidentally rupture his stomach on liquid or food. Even if he's great with his food, he might just drink too much tea or something. Like,
First of all, I'm totally on Team Taylor with regards to he needs to set up someone locally that can help him in an emergency or answer
yeah,
some
your
questions.
grandma.
He'll need some guidance. He can't just get a surgery in Mexico and then like handle the rest on his own. That's a recipe for disaster. But I'm not on Team Taylor with the idea that Tijuana is a bad idea entirely because I'm pretty convinced that his path isn't going to change without it, and his path is awful.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Now, I agree on that point. I hope he goes, and I hope he vlogs it all because he's going to be in. First of all, the flying thing will just be a nightmare for him. It's going to be crazy. I know how his mind works, and he doesn't have any forethought. So like, he's not thinking about the lines at the airport that you have to stand in. Like we've all been in the rat maze at the airport before at security at the metal detectors and stuff. He's not thinking about having to take his shoes off and then walking through a detection device. Like he won't be able to do these things. And then of course there's the boarding Like when he's got to go between those aisles all sweaty and finally sit down. Excuse me, those seats are mine there. You know, and like make the
Yeah.
person move. I bet he'll struggle at booking the flights and knowing how to get two seats together, and might not have the forethought to think maybe I should take the window and the middle so that some poor son of a bitch isn't against the window with me in the middle in the aisle, and then I'm partially in the aisle and suffocating someone. Like he may not have the forethought for these things. Like I'm super considerate, like with things like this. So like if I'm him, these are the things on the top of my mind. Not on his though. No.
I thought there was a break.
The pain that he's going to be in is going to be crippling. And there probably won't be prescription like painkillers for the after effects and everything, but just rooting around in there causes such like tissue bruising and damage. It's going to be excruciating. It's going to be like he got beaten in the stomach with a baseball bat, except there's going to be some sort of weird incision and stitches perhaps where his belly button used to be. It's going to be a goddamn nightmare. And just 2 days in a Marriott, he won't be able to feed himself. There'll be no one to bring him food while he's in that hotel.
Is that the problem, though?
Can I jump in on
That's
that?
sure.
So short side topic. I interrupted Kyle too much in the hangout list this weekend, and I'm trying to improve because I recognize I did it way too much this anyway. I have two things. One, I was in that same position where I couldn't feed myself because of the broken leg. It just made it hard to get around, and I it was really fragile, which was another it was like a crystal thing. So all I could do is have Pizza Hut delivered to me. Wings cannot eat Pizza Hut right after gastric bypass surgery. That cheesy, bready thing is the worst.
I bet some Tijuana Mexican food will sit nice and gentle in there.
Oh, I didn't even process that. That would be terrible. And I've got another
Well, maybe
thing.
he'll just go to his Tijuana sink and get a big glass of water.
So oh God, I didn't think of that. Oh my God, there's so much to process here. You know, you were fussing at Wings about not really thinking ahead on this whole thing. I would have to sit down with a notebook because there are some things to plan for in this.
Tijuana water is a good way to lose weight.
I went to California with Wings of Redemption. It was for the Billionaires Challenge a couple of years ago. Now, he was 26 then. I don't know. I think he's more or less the same guy now. He was very uncomfortable being away from home. It was like a level of anxiety and dread that most people don't exist in. You know, it was always there in his mind, nonstop. Like, I wish I was home. I wish I could get home. You know,
Well, I've never left Philly before.
he didn't like the
that
flight
kind of thing.
so much. He was like, maybe I could. You know what? I think I could just go get a rental car and start driving home right now. Right? We hadn't
wanna
even
go,
done
buddy?
the event yet. He was going to bail on the event, get a
you
rental
serious?
car, and drive from Beverly Hills to Conway, South Carolina, because he just wanted to start getting home.
Oh, I should have done that thing.
You
It would have
know
been
how-
worth it to have. I should have went. It would have been worth it just to have seen Wings
What are we talking
go
about?
through all this.
You
the
should've
billion-
went-
That is really sad though, to hear that. I didn't know that's how that trip went. That does make me feel bad for him. That,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
'cause if
he's-
you're willing to be like, okay, I'm going to drive. How far is a drive? Is it from there to Conway,
Hills?
South
It's
Carolina?
about 3,000
Beverly.
miles.
Is it
So like
37
what?
hours? Would you say?
2 days of driving.
It's about 3,000 miles.
I think
you
it's
know,
30
it's
3
Los
days of driving.
Angeles to it. I mean, it's coast to coast, literally, because like L.A., the beach is right
Yeah.
there, right?
Because everybody
and-
should be having fun
And
at this
Conway
event.
is Myrtle Beach. It's from the east shore to from the west shore to the east shore. Like it's literally about as far as it gets. I'm gonna guess 2,900, 3,100 miles.
Oh, wow. It is literally 37 hours. I
Nice
nailed it
job.
this whole time. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But like at the end of the day, 37 hours that he was willing to go through just because he was so
And by the way, you
scared
got to
of the
break that
prospect
into
of-
like 4 10-hour days, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and he would
something.
have no concept of the distance anyway. Like
What was it that was upsetting him at the whatever it was?
So-
Was
so
that
there
the
were-
billionaire? That was the billionaire thing?
Yeah, there's a Billionaires Challenge. Alki David did a thing. I think it was twofold. I think part of it was the airplane trip itself. Like he was big, and the person next to him was like protesting almost, like, "Oh my God, I had to sit next to him," and it hurt his feelings a lot. I think the other part of it was just sort of I've spent very little time more than like 6 miles from my house, and now I'm 2,500 miles from my house, and that like he can't just exist comfortably thousands of miles from home.
Yeah, he had a hard time existing 300 miles from home. Like that was something that he was like that here.
That might tie into why he missed the survival trip. I didn't even think of that until just now. Like, oh my God, a state away, and
Wait, this the survival trip was where?
North
You're-
Carolina.
The Uwharrie National Wilderness
right.
area
In North Carolina? He lives in
Yes.
South Carolina, so I don't buy that.
It's like it was like 4 or 5 hours.
There
for
is
him.
no state more similar to South Carolina than North Carolina. Like it's like, well, it's not that far. It has the same
and
second
then he-
part.
and then he had this comment. He said, Kyle left ahead of Woody. I told Woody 2 days before the trip was going to happen that I wasn't going.
I object to that. Yeah, can I tell my side of it?
I want you
It is
to.
true that not just 2 days, also like 5 days and 1 week, and on the show he said he didn't want to go, and then I would give him pep talks, and never did a talk finish without him promising to go. Right? He'd be like, I'm not going. And I'd be like, Wings, you got to do this. It's going to be great. You want to experience new things. You want to rise to new heights. You want to, have content for your channel. We're all going to be posting this stuff collectively. They'll be crossing it. Like, this is going to be a really great thing for everybody involved and everybody watching, and I would sell him on the idea, and he'd be like, okay, I'm back in. So for him to be like, I told Woody I wasn't going. Yes. Yeah. He told me 2 days before and a week before, and he told me on the show, and someone took my speech to him and put like motivational music to the back of it. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It was one of those, and then at the end of it, he's back in.
And for a guy who's always complaining about money, like that first survival trip cemented in the ability for us to do the second survival trip. We got paid enough in the second survival trip to do your fucking surgery, bro.
wait, how much is the surgery in America?
25 grand.
Not that much. In Mexico, I think is.
Oh, $4 grand.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for. That's like telling me that you can't tell the difference between a Morton's, to use Kyle's favorite example, steak, which is probably like $60, or
Target.
an Outback Steakhouse flank skirt steak that they generally would slice up to use as fajita meat, but they just kept together for your eating pleasure. Like, no.
Yeah.
Man, I would not get a surgery like that in
Did you see,
Mexico.
I posted that. We should probably even watch it. Let me find the clip.
There's probably way
here-
less accountability for the surgeons too.
Well, you're
Oh, there's
searching-
none.
Every time there's a dust up about it, like all my wishes are, like, let's just make everything truthful. I feel like if everyone knows all the facts, then I come out smelling like a rose. It's not until Wings is saying like all these untruths, and what do you say? The show cost him $100,000, and then people are like reverse
no, it was-
justifying it, like opportunity costed him or something.
Yeah, but then they made him like at first he was kind of making it sound like he quit, and then people were like, "No, you got fucking kicked off," and he's like, "Yeah, I got kicked off," and there was a whole back and forth with the way he
For him
reinvents
to
history.
say
Hi,
PKA
Dr.
cost him
Nick.
$100,000 is like me saying Bitcoin cost me millions.
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 Let's
Had
watch
I
this
known
clip. I
to
promise
invest,
it's super
yeah.
relevant.
I'm loading it.
I know exactly this.
I do not.
I posted this on the subreddit after.
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm not. Oh, there we go. Ready, set, play.
Hi, everybody!
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Now, there are many options available for dangerously underweight individuals like yourself.
This is Wings'
I
Mexican
recommend
doctor.
a slow, steady gorging process combined with asal horizontology.
That's on horizontal.
You'll want to focus on the neglected food groups, such as the
Whipped group.
the congealed group, and the chocotastic.
What can I do to speed the whole thing up, Doctor?
Be creative. Instead of making sandwiches with bread, use Pop-Tarts. Instead of chewing gum, chew bacon.
You could brush your teeth with milkshakes.
Hey, did you go to Hollywood Upstairs Medical College too? And remember, if you're not sure about something, rub it against a piece of paper. If the paper turns clear, it's your window to weight gain. Bye-bye, everybody.
Wow.
That's Dr. Nick.
And then of course like Troy McClure comes up, and then you just start thinking everything in his voice. It's like, hi,
Yeah,
I'm
Phil
Troy
Hartman.
McClure. Yeah, Phil
Hi,
Hartman. Oh yeah,
I'm Troy
that,
McClure.
that's Phil Hartman's voice.
You may remember
Did
me
you
from such
know-
educational films
He
as
was murdered.
he was by his
and-
wife.
Yeah, by his wife.
I don't know his full name, but Fry from Futurama was named after Philip Hartman. His name is like Philip J. Fry or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I saw it on Reddit a couple weeks ago.
Hartman was very funny. It was a shame.
Yes. So I guess that's the Wings topic. I think you should roll the dice and make a change because I'm pretty certain where our current trajectory takes us, and it's death at around 40.
Yeah, is that kind of what Wings is thinking? Like,
I think he's
or
thinking
fear
of
he's
death
expressing?
at 45.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus
Hollow point
Christ.
reference.
Oh, yeah, we got it. We got it, Mr. Ham-handed. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know how to talk about this, or no, I probably shouldn't. But it's PKN where we say anything. My
that what we're
mother-in-law's
doing?
not doing well, and I don't feel like I can. Imagine you're in the military on the front lines, right?
Oh no.
You might adopt a sense of humor or like some jokes or just thoughts of yours that people back home would just never understand, right? You know, the inappropriate behaviors or something. Sometimes, like, we're caregivers, and I think she's not gonna live, and the way this has gone is it's kind of like she takes 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, and for a while you hope like she's pulling through, like, you know, all right, you know, a step forward, you get excited about it until it gets so bad that it's almost like last night, for example, she had so much pain, she didn't get any sleep, and she's not feeling well today, and
How old is she again?
77.
Okay.
And I don't know. It just it's on my mind a lot. The fact that she's about to drop, and it's you know what the worst part of it is. There's a transition from when you stop hoping she'll get better, and you start hoping that her
It's over
suffering
with.
is over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that transition has happened, and I don't know. It's just
In
heavy.
Jackie's mind too.
Yeah, yeah. But of course she's conflicted. Like, you know, if you gave her the option for her mom to just be 40 again, you know, and live with us for the rest of her life as peers in you know, great in age, she would take that. But that's not on the menu.
Yeah.
What's on the menu is either passing now or suffering a lot and passing a few months from now. And
Yeah.
those, you know, pick one of those. And
Maybe some aquarobics, and then we go inside for a little while.
I heard they have surgeries in Tijuana. That
Hey, if you really want to speed it process along,
yeah.
how about sending her for gastric bypass surgery in Tijuana? I guarantee she doesn't live through the week.
my I have a friend. So you probably don't watch my Paramotor videos, but for people that do, he was just in one. He's the guy that broke his prop. Good-looking guy with gray hair. Anyway, he's like 1 year ahead of us in this process. His mom died a year ago, and he also like cared for her in her final months and stuff like that. And the hospice people come. He's like, "Did you get the red box yet?" We have, but ours is white, and it's filled with lots of drugs. Lots of drugs. The ones you might like, I don't know, morphine, and I don't really know my drugs that well, but the good shit is in there. And his hospice workers, I think I've said this before here or there, but they're like, you know, this stuff isn't really tracked. You know, if she's having a really hard time and you give her like the rest of the morphine, you know, that happens. You're not trained.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah, you're not trained. You wouldn't want to do it 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time.
but like they
Definitely
gave
not.
him assisted suicide instructions almost,
Yeah.
right? Because just like my mother-in-law, like this isn't a 12-year-old battling for this is a 77-year-old in her
It's
final
euthanasia
days,
time.
and But we didn't get that speech. What we did get was the disposal. They're like, yeah, so like you can. I forget what our choices were. I just remember the most attractive one was to go to the police and be like,
Put her out by the curb.
hand up. No, these are the drugs. You take the white box and you give it to the police, and you're like, we don't need morphine anymore. But
The garbage man would be like,
woohoo, win. Yeah, but apparently,
I'm at the body.
oh, you were putting the body there.
You're talking about disposal. I thought you meant the body.
Dude, and I've
You
had all these
definitely
terrible
don't want to
thoughts.
give those drugs back.
Like-
There has to be a positive from this.
She's on a the hospice came in and gave her a hospital bed, so that bed is next to the queen size bed, and like, do you replace a mattress
Yeah.
because someone died in the same
Yes.
room?
No, not in the same room.
You just flip it.
Yeah.
See, you're on the same page. Like these, I don't know. Somehow that seems inappropriate, but I have thoughts like that too.
I
Like,
don't think there's a reason to throw it away. Just like totally cleanse that one side, flip it, and
and keep in
don't
mind,
mention it to anybody who sleeps there.
She's
We
just
had the
on the
same
bed next to
discussion.
it.
We had the same discussion about the mattress Wing slept on while he was here.
Oh Jesus!
What'd you do? Did you just
What
flipped it?
did you do? You just flipped it, right?
That's the guest room.
It is the guest house. Yeah. Same line of thinking.
Is
but-
you're saying how like you and Jackie are kind of in the mode of like, all right, this should probably just end soon. She's doing more suffering and there's no chance of recovery. Your mother-in-law herself, is she kind of expressing that in a way? Like,
No.
I'm getting real tired of this. Like, this sucks.
she doesn't have a steady opinion on that. Some days, yes. Some days she'd be like, you know what, it's time. Other times, no. Like even now, she hasn't signed a DNR yet, right? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna miss some. She has cancer in her stomach, her kidney, her liver, her lymph nodes, her colon, her vagina. What else is in your belly? Her uterus.
Intestines.
I don't know that one for sure.
Stomach,
Well, the colon's
Stomach
attached
I
to that.
mentioned.
pancreas.
Liver?
I'm not sure about pancreas. I think liver.
He-
She,
yeah,
oh,
what is
kidney?
it?
it's in her bones. I don't know which ones, but she has.
Not bone cancer.
Yeah, literally. And she has. Her back is broken in like 4 places, because it's weak from having cancer in it.
In it.
And
Yeah.
so I went to CVS and bought her like a $30 brace because what do you do in a situation like this? Soon what's going to happen is she needs someone to be with her at night. And I think what happens is like Jackie just starts sleeping next to her.
Oh, that's so sad.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's really, really
I
sad.
think,
You know what the
would look
hospice says? Again, I feel like people are going to judge us, but they say this. They say, if she dies, don't call anyone right away. Because if she's still warm and stuff, they'll try to resuscitate her, and they might.
yeah.
So let her get cold, and then call. And it's just like the reality of that.
Yeah. How long does it take a body to get cold after you die?
I don't know. It couldn't be more than
wondered
an
that.
hour, right?
Yeah, Google's gonna know.
Well, my turkey stayed hot for a while.
At least on the inside, right, Kyle? Stay
Oh,
warm
man. Like, I-
after death.
If it were myself in this situation, it would be morphine time for me. It'd be like let go ahead and take
2 to
all,
6 hours
That's
is
what I
when
got,
rigor
too.
mortis sets in. 2 to 6 hours. It's faster than I would have thought.
Yeah. I wonder. I bet if it's an hour though, they can tell it's beyond resuscitation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like if she's
And
cool
also,
to the touch.
and I'm just making this up, but I have a feeling that if you see her, she's 77. She's lost all this weight. She's in the 90s now, like weight wise. They probably would just.
beach body.
Yeah, right. I've been teasing her about her bikini body for ages. She's all thin, and but if it was like an 11-year-old, they would just pull out all the stops, even if it was dead for an hour. Start CPR.
Yeah.
I was there. We were talking about DNR, and Taylor asked if where she is on. She hasn't signed a DNR yet, which I haven't contributed my opinion, but I'm like, I would sign that DNR, and the reason why is what she's effectively doing is making Jackie do it. She's like, I don't know, I'm just not ready to sign a DNR, and it's like, oh, so you're passing that responsibility on to your daughter. That's cool. That.
Mm-hmm.
And that.
Well, how hard could her signature be, Woody?
At this point, I think I could just put the pen in my mouth and forge it. It's kind of a mess.
Dark.
Yeah, I'm thinking about death a lot. At
Forgive
least
me.
in the last
I've been on
couple
the front
days.
lines for a year now.
Yes. I've been pretty sick the last few days. Like ever, on
So
we were
you've been
doing
thinking about death?
no, no, not that. But after our hangout on Sunday, when I was gonna have that girl over at like 4, like all day I'd been feeling like a little shitty. But I was like, I had a bunch of people over and I drank last night. It's just a hangover. Like it'll go away. By like 4, she'd text me and be like, hey, I got caught up at a family thing. I'll be there like at 6 instead. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Between like 4 and 5 and like 5:30, like I started getting like, the hot sweats and the shakes, like when you start getting the flu, like when you, like I'm sneezing my ass
That's
off, I'm
terrible.
coughing, my throat hurts, my head is killing me. And I had to eventually text her and be like, hey, if we end up hooking up tonight, you're going to get really, really sick. And she's like, thanks for letting me know. Let's do it another time. And I was like, all right. And so I continued to get sicker and sicker. Woke up on Monday and was incapacitated, or on Sunday rather, and was incapacitated all day. Like I just laid in my bed, sweating my ass off, feeling like I was gonna vomit, or like coughing so hard. Like have you ever coughed so hard you feel like you're gonna throw up just from the force of the cough?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like it's just such one itchy spot
The
that you
sweats,
can't.
the hot, the cold, like you almost forget how terrible being sick is if you haven't been
Oh,
sick
yeah.
lately. It's awful.
I totally empathize because like I'd had just minor colds for so long that it's like that's what being sick is. Like when you get like the flu or a bad head cold where like you're sweating your ass off, but you're also like you feel freezing. Like that's the worst feeling in the world because I have to sleep with blankets on, and so I woke up for the last 3 nights like just soaked.
Drenched. Yeah.
It's the worst. But and then yesterday. The creme de la creme on this sick thing, which I'm feeling better now, thankfully. But yesterday I was still a little bit sick. I had to wake up at 4:45, fly to Tampa all day for work, and then didn't get home until like 10 last night. And so that was a fun woohoo. But anyway, all this to say, I've had a lot of free time other than that the past few days because I've been sick, and so I've been watching Hannibal at Kyle's recommendation, and it is really, really good. I'm enjoying it a lot so far. Like it's honestly, it's a little too fucked up to be believable in some circumstances because it's like. What murderer has the time for all these games? as he's like, I'm gonna kill him and then like set his watch differently so that someone will be like, hey, I think he's leaving us a clue. And it's like, what? And then of course, Hannibal's standing right there like, do you think so? Oh, that would be very interesting if it was. or even like if they're like all missing Hannibal's little thing, Hannibal will be like, oh, what is that? Oh, no, nothing. Probably nothing. Just like full rose petals, like arranged very specifically over there. But who knows? I'm just a psychiatrist. Like that kind of shit. But the other thing that you have to admit about the show, Kyle, is that it's just a show about a psychic without calling him a psychic.
Yeah.
Because like whatever the guy's name is, Will. Like his entire thing is like he can empathize with anyone, even if he's never met him. And it's like, hey, that doesn't make any sense. That's just being psychic.
Like Counselor Troy.
He'll just go into a place where a killing was and like close his eyes and like feel around and be like, yes, he was mad. Why did he peel the skin off his fingers? Probably because he hated him and he knew that this was a professional sewer and he wanted to insult her. No, it was because it was his design to do it. And he wanted to know that, that he could sew just ridiculous nonsense. Has that part irritated you a bit, that it's just a psychic show where they won't admit it?
A little bit. I do like that, like, because he's on like the spectrum and he's like super empathic. So like as time goes on from, especially into the second season, like it really starts to fuck with him because he's been in the heads of so many sick people that
Where are you at, by the way?
I'm in season 3 now, which is First 2 seasons very good. Season 3 things change up quite a bit, and I'm not liking it very much. But the first 2 seasons are solid.
I'm season 2, episode 7.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
catching up pretty good. Woody, you should watch it. Or actually, you know what? Probably not the best show for you right now. Maybe.
Oh
Or
god.
actually, no, it probably is a great show for you right now.
Yeah, you'll learn some tips.
Because the whole time you'll be watching, and you'll be like, oh, this really isn't too terrible a way to go, I guess. 'Cause some of these ways that they're killing people in this show,
Well, at least the mushrooms didn't eat her. Jeez.
that was like one of the grossest things I've seen in a show. It like genuinely gross. The guy, like
Yeah.
he buried bodies in a you explain it, Kyle. Sorry, because like I'm cough.
He found these diabetic people. He would induce a diabetic coma. Then he buried them in the ground with an IV of sugar water and an air hose, and they would be unconscious, but there would be mushrooms growing off of them. He turned them into living mushroom gardens for the last like couple days of their life, and like when they exhume the bodies, they have these mushrooms growing off of them everywhere, and it's really disgusting.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, it was really fucked up. And most of the murders are like that level of fucked up. Like these people he's investigating.
Dexter
Yeah.
was good that way at first. Like I really liked the way he picked his victims as bad guys and planned it out to get away with it, and like it just had some forethought.
Hannibal's whole thing is whenever possible, he elects to eat the rude. He calls them free range rude.
RUDE.
Yes, he doesn't like rude people.
Oh.
And so he's not just picking like some gentle mother of 4 to like eat up. He's picking rude people who have sort of slighted him in the most slight way, like the slightest of slights.
Yeah.
I
But
was,
he's like a maniac, so they're not actually rude.
I was
he's just-
thinking about me and the rudeness, and the whole thing about waiters and waitresses.
Oh, he'd eat you.
is actually not true. I'm
He'd eat
very nice to waiters and waitresses, and I think I tip well, and that's the thing. But telemarketers, I am genuinely rude to. Of course, a lot of them are robots now, so it doesn't matter. But I had a guy call me from Toyota recently, and he's just like, he wasn't getting to the point. And the call was like
Damn Toyota.
90 seconds in. He's like, he's trying to get me to say yes a lot. Like, are you Matt Woodworth? Yes. Do you have a Forerunner? Yes. Like, are you going somewhere with this? Have you taken that Forerunner in for service at Leith Toyota? Yeah. Where are you going with this? What are you doing? And then he just kept like following the script, and he would pause because I think people don't normally give him shit during this section of the call, but I am rude to telemarketers. And eventually I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, what are you getting at? And he's like, I'm trying to schedule a service for your car. And I hung up. Dick. And I looked at the
quick
call.
Lou because you're a cunt.
It was almost 2 minutes long. He's questioning, like 2 minutes of trying to get me to say yes repeatedly, as if I'm some sort of fucking idiot who doesn't see through this sales technique, Get him to say, yeah, hey, are you Matt Woodworth? I already know what you're up to, you dick shit. Oh my God. Like, what are you trying to get from me? Yeah, so I'm rude to telemarketers.
That's okay.
It doesn't happen anymore. I have... They used to call during dinner. That was like a standard telemarketer thing because you'd get it. People would pick up. People were home at 6 back in the 90s. And, I like get up from the table that I'm having with my wife and the phone's there. And I was like, oh, this sounds great. Can you hold on a minute? And he says, yeah. And I put the phone in a drawer and I close it and I go back to dinner. And Jackie is like, what are you doing? Seriously? And she felt bad for the telemarketer. She's like, that's a person on the other end of the line just trying to make a living. I'm like, yeah, by harassing people at dinner. You think this isn't a plan? This is their plan. So we disagreed on that.
Yeah,
It is a plan.
telemarketing was a real motherfucker in the 90s and early 2000s. Like it was awful. They called
It
all
happened
the
every
time.
single dinner.
Yeah, for
I have
all
an issue-
number of things.
I think I get
Wasn't-
more spam calls than most people.
I get quite a few too. It's
I get a lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
it's when you sign up for something and it requires your phone number. I'm pretty sure they're selling your phone number to, some bullshit. I just don't answer it if I don't know it.
My last 30 calls, 10 were flagged. That's a big percentage to me.
Yeah.
I'm probably around, probably not that bad, but around there. I'm getting more and more of those, like, people will call me and be like, hello, I am with your internet provider account. And it's like, all right, yeah, what's my internet provider? I am with your internet provider account to address a problem you were having with your account. It's like, who's my internet provider? Hello? And it's like, yes, I'm still here. Who's my internet provider? And then, of course, they can't do it. Or they do the same thing with cell phones, where they'll say, we have received an issue with your PC. Do you have a PC that you need? And I always say, I use Mac products, but is the problem there? Because just to see, because I don't have any Mac products. And they'll be like, yes, I apologize. It is a Mac product. And I'm like, you piece of shit. No, it's not. Get out of here, Pajit. Like, so get rid of that.
Mine,
But,
almost exclusively, they're talking about my student loans. Now, fun fact about me, never had a student loan, right? I paid as I went because I worked a lot and I just did like 2 or 3 classes at night. And, but yeah, and usually it's an automated call and it says they tie it into politics. Like it used to have somehow Obamacare was tied into student loan forgiveness. And now they're saying Trump's tax plan has a student loan forgiveness thing that I need to take advantage of before it passes the House. And I'm just like, it's
before
not
it
true.
passes the House.
Yeah, like because my time is running out. They're like, one branch of government has already passed it before the president signs it. You need to take advantage of student loan forgiveness, and yeah,
I get the calls. They say, "Hello, I'm calling from Carnival Cruises, and you have won a $1,500 credit. Go on any one of this year's 8 cruises. Would you like to go to?" And I'm like, "Are you a real fucking person?" He's like, "Yes." What the fuck?
I had a stroke when I was 9.
I've
I have
done.
to emphasize, or it comes out all gurgly.
Usually, I just hang up. I should play with it more, but I've had them, like Kyle says, where I'll be like, "Is this a real person?" And it's it's programmed to respond. Yes, I am a real person, and I'm like, knock knock, and they don't say who's there. So yeah, that's my what is it called? The Turing test, I think, to see if it can fool the person on the other end into thinking it's a human.
Yeah.
Be a
Anyway,
good question to ask to figure out if it was a human or not. What's your favorite food, maybe?
yeah,
And
I
why?
kick off with a knock knock joke. I think that's as good as any.
Humor's probably good
Siri
too.
can beat that one, right?
What'd you say?
But Siri can beat that one.
She can. Yeah, I'm not claiming to be a genius here.
Kitty got Alexa, and it's kind of fun, I guess. She had it downstairs in her workroom the other day, and she had this lady hired to come and bottle a bunch of shit. She was doing some busy work, and she showed this lady how Alexa works. She was like, if you want Alexa to play a song, just ask her. And she's like, Alexa, play me, this, blah blah blah,
La
Billy Joel.
Cucaracha.
She was blown away by it. She was referring to Alexa as her and she, and I love it. I love it. She's great. By the end of the day, her and Alexa were best friends. They'd been having long conversations.
That's awesome.
I don't want an Alexa for that reason, because it's just too much information. It's always listening to you. Your phone's always listening to you too, but I don't need another device like that.
I'm with Taylor on that one. That's my reason. Now, I'll probably change my mind as I stop being a troglodyte. What do they call people who hate new tech? But anyway.
Troglodyte, I think, yeah.
Troglodyte, yeah. So, but I'm really, the FBI will neither confirm nor deny that they tap into Alexas to eavesdrop on people. I feel like you put an Alexa in here and a Nest, and it happens all the time. I've seen people have Facebook conversations, even audio ones, about cat food it was. Now, they don't have a cat, so this was a brand new line of conversation for them. And he and his wife were doing it on purpose. And then it started showing them cat food ads on Facebook to prove that Facebook was eavesdropping on their verbal conversations.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, you saw that too. So
Yeah, it's creepy.
I worry a lot. I just don't want, I don't believe, even if Alexa doesn't listen to all your stuff right now and log it and track it and such, I don't believe Google never will. I'm not sure I want to have those things listening.
Alex Jones was going off on Alexa. He had an Alexa sitting there, and he's
he
talking
and I
to
are
it. He's
the
like,
same boat.
Alexa, who do you work for? I work for you, Alex, or something like that. He's like, you work with the CIA, don't you? And she's like, no, I do not work. He goes, what is the CIA? The Central Intelligence Agency is the United States Civilian International Surveillance Service. You work for them, don't you? No. Who created you?
Who created
Bezos. And he's like, who is Jeff Bezos? Who does he work for? He's interrogating an Alexa while it sits on his desk. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty funny. I used to talk to Siri every now and then on PKA, and everyone hated it. But I thought it was genius. We could fact check right online.
What's that Austin Powers quote where he's like, "Who do you work for?" You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, he's in the bathroom shitting.
Yeah.
Austin is interrogating the guy in the bathroom stuff. Who
does this
to work for? And they're watching. They think
And
he's like
Tom Arnold's in the other one. Yeah, you give him hell. You tell him which one.
You tell him, buddy. And his feet are like kicking and doing all kinds of crazy stuff because he's getting strangled to death. And Tom Arnold's like, Jesus Christ, buddy, hang in there, buddy, stay strong. Who does number 2 work for?
Sorry, I just popped in my head.
I haven't seen that shit in a long time. That's good. I love those movies,
Yeah, those are
especially when they
solid.
came out. I love those fucking movies. The Goldmember one wasn't good, but I really liked Fat Bastard. Like the whole Fat Bastard thing. He's like, it's a baby. Baby. The other white meat. Baby, it's what's for dinner. And there's like drool coming out of his mouth. It's fucking great. Oh, Mr. English Colonel telling me to lose weight.
I'm a little bummed out that Hannibal's going to get shitty after this season, apparently.
Yeah, it follows the storyline of the books loosely. So if you've seen Hannibal the movie, it's the part where he's in Florence, sort of working in Florence, and
Oh, okay.
that
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
the Verger guy is like trying to get him so that he can torture him to death, and so there's like a $3 million bounty on Hannibal's head. So, it's okay. Hannibal finally catches an ass whooping in season 3. You might want to stick in there for that, because like the whole length of the show, like Hannibal's not a big bulking guy. He's just always like just slitting
just sly.
someone's jugular or something, and like being like quick and nimble. But like there's that scene where he's you probably haven't gotten there yet. He gets in a few physical altercations, and he always comes out on top. But there's a point in season 3.
Oh yeah, they preview that in the beginning of season 2.
Yes. There's a part in season 3, however, where he gets his ass whooped. It's great. And the person doing the ass whooping's like smarter than him. Like he takes his shoes off so he can like sneak around in his socks, and like comes up behind Hannibal and just beats the dog shit out of him. Like there's music playing during the
Well, I'm
ass
looking
whooping.
forward to that, because it's about time
Yeah.
he got a little comeuppance. Like, tell me this, though. I can't be the only person watching this show who, even if I had met Hannibal through a friend and I showed up at his dinner party, I would be too uncomfortable to eat, because he puts down these ridiculous meals and you're like, what is it? And he's like, it is lamb put in a sheep intestine and a bunch of other things and petals of oregano or whatever. And then all he does is make puns about eating people.
Yes.
The entire meal, he'll be like, oh, yes, I always love having friends for dinner.
Dinner.
I would love to have you over again sometime, perhaps for you to be dinner. Oh, yes. And it's like, that wasn't even a pun, Cannibal. You're just implying you're going to eat these folks.
They're eating tongue at dinner at one point, and he's like, perhaps one day I shall eat your tongue. And the guy's like, what the fuck?
And the guy's like,
What?
are you shitting me? What's wrong with you? You don't
Jesus.
say things like that. Also,
Yeah.
nobody ever has once gone to Hannibal's house and been like, hey, have you noticed that 100% of the shit this guy serves is organ meat? What's
He
this?
serves a
Oh, it
lot
is
of
it is
organ meat.
cow kidney. What's that? Oh, it is a tongue of a goat. What's that? Oh, this is a shrew's asshole. Like, no, it's all organ meat. Like that's not
There's
normal.
a lot of organ meat. There's
They
a lot
work
of
24/7 trying to find these criminals who are like, God, what are they doing with the all the organs?
Organs.
Well, yeah, they're clearly taking them as trophies. That's very normal for them to do. You want to come to dinner later? I'm having kidney and brain and heart, and it's like God damn. And
at
then, like,
one
oh,
dinner
and
alone,
other
he serves
psychiatrists
like 5
over.
hearts.
Yeah. It's like, where the fuck you? One of the scenes I was watching today, like blown away by how the female psychiatrist wasn't getting it. He was standing at the cutting board, cutting a human heart into pieces, handing her the pieces, and her just mindlessly putting it on a skewer with like bell pepper.
Yep.
It's like, do you think that's what a cow's heart looks like? How many
Pig's
hearts
heart.
do you think a cow has? That's not what a pig's heart looks like either.
I think maybe they do because they, sometimes they give people pigs' hearts.
No, but they don't look the same.
Let's. I want to see what a pig's heart looks like. Let's
If
see
I saw a
pig's
heart that looked enough like that, I'd be like, you're gonna have to give me. Where's your receipt from the butcher?
dude.
Am I crazy?
Look at this
Did
pig's heart.
Pig's heart used to be used in humans.
Yes, that's what I said. The
I'm sorry.
like, look at this picture of a pig's heart. I mean, shit.
Wow.
Okay, well,
I expected it to look human-like. It's coming up if anyone's watching, but that is more human-like than I was calling for. That just
Yeah. Those are, in reality, he has actual. Those were pig hearts that he was cutting up because they're certainly not human hearts, right? Like, but
yeah. But also, that other psychiatrist lady would not have known what a pig heart looked like.
probably not. And look, and I don't know why everyone's so open to eating all this organ meat. Like, I don't eat chicken livers. Meanwhile, she's like, oh yeah, give me the pieces of heart to put on the skewer. I'd be like, can we go to Taco Bell one night, Hannibal? This is ridiculous. I mean,
you'll know this
Yeah.
though. What do you normally eat? Is it muscle?
yeah.
Oh, so heart would be kind of like quad, right?
Yeah,
It's
but-
organ meat though, so it's gonna
but it's-
taste way different.
It's
It's-
straight
it's
up
just-
just cardiac muscle, right? Like as opposed to fast twitch or I don't know what other skeletal muscle. Like it's
don't
not
know.
like liver or
I-
something. It's just a different muscle.
It's true, I
I've eaten,
suppose.
chicken
yeah,
heart
with the
before.
heart in particular. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've eaten chicken liver. I like chicken liver. It's not bad.
I don't. I don't want it. I don't. There's enough meat to go around. Like this isn't the ancient times where it's like we get the organs. That's all that's left over because the clergy and the nobility has gotten all the good cuts. Like I can have. I got a ribeye in the steak. I'm
Well-
gonna fuck it in the fridge. I'm gonna eat that.
Kyle, I don't think you'll make much of a Dothraki then. Just saying.
No, no. I
No, you
certainly
won't.
never. When she ate that horse's heart.
Uh-huh.
Animal would have. He would have been leading that fucking Dothraki horde.
I want to say in the book they were very impressed she didn't gag or throw up or something. Does that sound familiar to anyone else?
Yeah, yeah. It's a struggle to get it all down. Yeah.
Yeah, but she did. She
He did.
excelled.
No gag reflex in the Targaryen household.
That's
No
why
silverware
we love 'em.
either, apparently. I have really wanted to be able to cut that into some pieces, get some mustard or something going on, but
Is that coming out in 2018? Do we know?
I doubt it. I would aim. I would think 2019 spring.
It's weird to me that it takes like I
Oh,
don't
excuse
know.
me. Yes, it is. Game of Thrones will be out next year. For some reason, I skipped all the way ahead to Lord of the Rings.
Oh, right. That'd be the Amazon thing that's coming up.
Yes.
Yeah. Game of Thrones 2018, you say? I
Yeah,
hope so.
yeah.
Are they filming now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to see the end of that. I want to know how it works out, as if we don't know. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I
know
do
exactly.
know the good guys win. And I'm pretty. That wasn't always a certainty. Now I think it is.
Maybe they do. Maybe they don't.
Yeah.
Maybe it was all maybe like at the finale is like Martin waking up from a fevered ham dream and just being like, oh shit, oh that was crazy.
Gur Martin, the author.
Yeah, yeah. Like he just wakes up in his mansion with like ham drool all over him, and he's oh Jesus Christ.
He fell asleep while browsing the web for Mexican
Yeah,
gastric bypass
he's got
surgeries.
like he's got like 2 or 3 of the female leads in bed with him. They're like, "What's wrong, girl?" You know, it's something like that. Like that was influencing his dream. And like the actor who plays Jon Snow comes in as like a butler or something. Like he's just dreaming about people he knows.
The whole Wizard of Oz thing. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. That might be better than what they do. We'll see.
We will. Call it a wrap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. PKN episode 172.